Welcome to the Valdosta State University Spring Softball Captains Meeting. This is our list of contact information on how to get in touch with us at Intramural Sports. Captains have the most responsibility on the team, as we at Intramural Sports will be in contact with the captains the most. They are responsible for players, along with fans and coaches. Now we're going to take a look at some of our policies here at Intramural Sports. Obviously, students, faculty, and staff are allowed to participate as long as they carry a valid VSU ID. Captains are responsible for managing their rosters on IM leagues. We do have a 1-week grace period for each division where players can sign in at the time of their games with our supervisors. Current varsity athletes are allowed to participate in Intramural Sports. However, they must participate in sports that are not correlated to the sport they are participating on here on campus for Valdosta State University. Ex-varsity athletes must sit out a year before participating in a related sport. These ex-varsity athletes must also participate in A League with only 2 allotted per team. Players cannot switch teams after participating with one individual. If an ineligible player is found on a team's roster, that team will have to forfeit that game. Coaches are required to carry a valid VSU ID along with signing in at the beginning of each game. Protests can be carried out over a player's eligibility or a rule interpretation. Player eligibility can be filled out at any time before the game is over with. While protesting a rule interpretation, a captain must call timeout during that point of the game in order to protest that call. For each forfeit, $10 is taken out of your team's forfeit bond, and after 2 forfeits, your team will be removed from the league. Forfeits can be caused by more than just not having enough players at the time of the game. 3 unsportsmanlike warnings, an ejected player in the playoffs, or falling below the minimum number of players during a game can also result in a forfeit. Defaults are given when a team captain contacts the IM Sports staff before 3 p.m. of the game day. Defaults, however, carry no charge and are still given a 3.0 sportsmanship rating. Sportsmanship is given out on a 4.0 scale at the discrepancy of our supervisors. Teams must maintain a 2.5 sportsmanship rating in order to make the playoffs. Technical fouls and ejections automatically lower sportsmanship rating. Next, we will get into the main rules of softball. Teams may have a maximum of 10 players on the field at one time for defense. Men's and women's divisions are allowed 1 extra hitter in their lineup. If co-rec teams decide to have extra hitters, they must have 2 in order to satisfy the guy-to-girl ratio. Teams must have at least 8 players in order to start and finish a game. And for co-rec, 4 of these must be males and 4 females. During a co-rec game, the pitcher and catcher must be of opposite gender. There also must be 2 males and 2 females in the infield and outfield. Players must be wearing athletic gear, while no metal spikes are allowed. Games will have a 50-minute maximum time length, with game time being forfeit time. Home and visiting teams will be decided by a coin toss at the beginning of each game, except for during the playoffs where seeding will determine home team. Our mercy rules are pretty universal: 20 runs after 3 innings, 15 runs after 4, and 10 after 5. Ties do happen in the regular season, but during the playoffs, games will go into extra innings. Scoring is the same for all leagues and divisions. Teams are allowed 9 over-the-fence home runs, while no leading off or stealing is allowed. Pitchers must keep 1 foot on the rubber throughout their delivery. Release the ball with an underhand motion at a moderate speed below their hip, and have a visible arc between 6 to 12 feet. Teams must use ASA bats that will be checked before the game. Batters must keep both feet inside the batter's box prior to the pitch and throughout their swing. Each batter will start with a 1-1 count and no extra foul on the 3rd strike. Offensive interference versus defensive obstruction. Offense interference occurs mostly with batters or base runners who interfere with a fielder either physically, verbally, or visually, in order to obstruct the play. Most of these instances occur when a base runner is trying to break up a double play at second base. In these instances, the base runner who comes in contact with the player is out, and the runner going to first is also out. Defensive obstruction results in the batter reaching base or a base runner advancing to the next base. The infield fly rule comes into effect when runners are on first, second, or first, second, and third. When a routine infield pop-up is hit during this time, the batter is automatically declared out. The base runners may then advance at their own risk. When a captain decides to substitute or re-enter a player, they must immediately tell the umpire and scorekeeper. Substitutes must be inserted in the same spot of the batting order in which the person they are substituting for. Any player re-entering must go in the same position they were previously in the batting order. Some of our other rules are that teams may only warm up in the first inning. Another would be during a pitching change, the new pitcher has 3 pitches to warm up before the inning resumes. If a player hits a home run or foul ball out of play, a player from that team must go to retrieve the ball. Runners approaching home must avoid contact by either sliding or ducking out of the way and are not allowed to collide with the catcher.